All right, let's get started. Welcome. I hope everyone's going well tonight. Today we're joined by, Sox's torso. So yeah, oh, that got a little bit louder. Let's just turn that down for me a little. All right, I'm gonna see what I can do with the webcam. I think. Let's do that. Yes, Socks. It's extra wide now. Still hasn't got you in it. Alright, cool. Hold on, Socks. There we go. Yeah. Hopefully everyone's going well tonight. We're continuing on with some testing. We'll probably also talk about fixing some issues. Yeah. We passed our milestone of 100, which is awesome news. I just realized that I've got to actually update my my Docker settings. Give me a couple of seconds. It should all just work. Famous last words, of course. All right, you guys can't see this because I have way too much config in here that I don't want to, show by mistake. But I'm typing 031 100. All right, that's done. Yes, Socks, it is done. I've just done it. Okay, calm down. All right, so let's jump right into it. We want to do some more testing. So we're going to connect to the Postgres database once again. We're going to continue with the Postgres database. We're just going to make sure everything just works perfectly fine. So far it is, but we want to also create a very basic user that can only just edit things. So we're going to do that. We're just going to go into users, team intern. All right, cool. Team intern is edit only. Sweet. We're going to just open up, not as admin, sorry, my bad. We want to open up as, not team leader, let's go team member. So team intern, let's bump into that. All right, cool. We don't need to test what we tested last time. The reason being is if it'll work for the read-only user, it will work for everyone. We just now testing the permissions. So this testing will be a lot quicker. Camera's over here, sweetie. To your right, down here. Wait, there they are. All right, you have to beg them for treats. For those on Twitch, you can actually feed Socks treats. So yeah, first thing we're going to do is we're going to test out to make sure that this particular user can't actually create anything. Sweet, they won't be able to create anything. I'm happy with that. The next thing I want to test is, now we tested everything else, we just need to make sure the search just works. It should just work like for every single user because it's the same sort of stuff. It just checks to see what objects the user has permission to. We can include closed objects. Yep, like that. Now the Kanban board isn't assigned to this particular user. Ooh, that's one thing. Yes, I should actually test is a Kanban board. Simple Kanban board. And we're just going to create it for everyone to have access. We're just going to do that right now. If I hit refresh on this, scroll down, there it is right there. So this particular user can actually add in stuff to it, which we'll just do right now. Edit only user created this card. Simple card creation. Let's just go. That's the lowest sort of thing possible. It pops up there. We're all happy with that. That's working perfectly fine. And we've hit our first ad break. All right, for those on YouTube, we run ads every half an hour. Ooh, I'm gonna edit some of this. I think we can definitely remove shoulder face now. Yeah, let's remove shoulder face. Hey, down, no. You know you're not allowed to do that. Just removing that. Yes, socks. There we go. We've got decent. I've got to edit this anyway. We'll put the webcam towards the bottom. There we go. I think we can get rid of that. That and that. Actually, I think we can get rid of most of this. Yeah. 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 How are we with the ads? Almost done. Right, there you go. Sock's looking very regal doing this. Yeah, welcome back everyone. Yeah, just changing the ad screen and all that kind of fun stuff. Yeah, I've been meaning to do a couple of changes too. So, this got created. Now, this is an edit only, but the thing is, you can edit what's on the Kanban board. Because you essentially got the edit at the Kanban board level, so you can edit what's on the Kanban board. And move things around and so forth like that. Otherwise, if you didn't want people to have that ability to edit stuff, you would give them read-only. Adding in an extra layer of permissions around the Kanban cards, I'm going to say no. It just adds in so much more complexity, so much more fiddling, and it's not worth it. So yeah, notes box. All right, I don't know why I have note box there. Do I really need notebox there? We'll have a look at that when I am moving away from Tiny Mouse. But yeah. But that works perfectly fine. We can add users to this, so we can add myself to it. Read-only user. Let's just add there. There we go. That'll appear for me. If I go save and continue, let's just go like that. Save and continue. And then let's say I do a refresh. Socks, will you stop eating the camera? I've already gone through enough. They're not going to give you treats if you behave naughtily. Poor people. And this is why it's blurry. Been like slobbering all over my lens. Alright, hang on, give me a couple of seconds. Oh, that's not too bad. You're gonna eat the camera again? She's like, oh, I'm going for it. It's destroying my stuff. Okay, so that got created. I'm all happy with that. With the notes, we added in the notes. We can actually edit our own notes. Easy done. There we go. We can also delete our own notes. Easy done. We can also remove ourselves from there. Now that just removed it without any input. Team intern. All right. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to. Yeah. All right. Technically a bug. The idea of this is if someone removes a user, it double checks that they want to remove that particular user. However, that being said, you can just re-add them back in very, very quickly. I'm probably going to look at how we do that moving forward. Yeah. All right. Just wondering if I should add that as a bug. Part of me says yes. Oh, I do want to have a look at that. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it kind of is a bug. We want consistency throughout NearBeach, especially when you're sort of removing stuff. There's certain stuff we wouldn't be too worried about. So adding and removing users, sure, removing them, you could get away with not asking the user, are you sure? However, that being said, at the group level, you do want to ask users because that makes a big change, because all of a sudden it could remove multiple different users. Yeah, I'm going to put this in. From card does not request verification. All right, method 1, log into NearBeach. 2, navigate to an open Kanban board. 3, open up a card. Go to the user tab. Remove a user from the card. Expected results. User is asked for confirmation about removing the user from the card. Actual results, user is just removed. Notes. We might rethink how this method is done. Might no longer be an issue in 032. All right, easy done. Considering how I feel about this, I'm going to put that on low. Actually, when did the highest high, low, lowest come through? I think that's new because I haven't actually flagged them. I'm going to put this as minor. This is just a minor bug. This is, if we come across it and we want to fix it, we'll fix it. This is part of the Kanban card. Easy done. We'll put this as 101 at the moment. However, that being said, it might be one of those things that we flag for 032. I don't see... I'm on the fence with this one because I do kind of want to rethink how we sort of deal with the removal of stuff in 032, whether or not we constantly barrage the user with little modals being like, are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? The reason why we do it sometimes is to give them an out in case there was like a Tourette's click or something like that, where they've accidentally clicked on something in passing, especially if it's something which will have follow-on consequences. For example, removing a group. If you accidentally remove your group from a project, you no longer have access to that project. You actually, the page refreshes, there's no way for you to add yourself back in. So, yeah. All right. But it's good to actually talk about it in this sort of build, and this is a minor issue. So, yeah. With the documentation, we should be able to upload stuff with no problems. We're just going to upload that. That will work perfectly fine because it's using the same sort of backend logic. Oops, I wasn't meant to pick that again. I was meant to actually, oops, I did it again. Close. Ooh. Sorry, I was meant to go this one. Oh, 403. Oh. I'm going to hit that add link one again. We're going to bump that off to the left. We've got the Kanban card in here. We've got a 403 forbidden status. Quite literally meaning, yeah, you're not allowed to do this. All right. I'm going to close all tabs. I should be able to upload this because I'm not a read-only user. Now, also another thing I should do is let's go to permission sets. Let's go to edit only. Let's double check that I have permission. So I don't have any permissions, any extra permissions, but I've got edit only. All right, cool. Edit only. Oh, we do have edit only on the Kanban cards. All right. Sorry, I misspoke before. I thought we weren't going to do it and that fine-grained stuff, but I guess we are with the Kanban board and cards. All right, cool. Develop this and I already forget the permission structure. All right, we're going to minimize this. We're going to open up NearBeach. We're going to open up the backend. We're going to go to the backend itself. So the documentation Kanban card. So that will be, actually that will be add link. It's just easier for me to go add link / and then do a file mask for Python. We've got it here. All right, so document add link, this will be in here. We're just gonna go to this implementation and, oh, minimum permission is a 2. An extra permission is document. So check user generic permission. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go into the implementation. We're going to put a breakpoint right there and we're going to redo this. So I'm just going to hit that link again. We've got that breakpoint in here. What we're going to do is we're going to have a look at some of these variables. So with the request itself, we've got destinations, Kanban card, location ID will be 2. Oh, that's one thing I gotta test, look up. Sorry, give me 2 seconds. This is a little bit of a tangent. We're gonna look up Django REST framework upload file. We're gonna see if that's possible. Because the bit of a tangent. I'll be very quick about this tangent. So what we kind of want to do is we're going to have a, essentially 0.31 is mostly wrapped up. We've got a couple of features and we've got the shakeout testing to do and the unit testing. However, that being said, there will be a lot of design sort of process going on for 0.32, and at the same time, what I could potentially do is continue implementing stuff in 0.31. For example, I can expand out the API. And that way, when I start 0.32, it is as simple as me going, all right, cool, we're going to use this API. It's how we want to structure what we want to. And that way, no one expects a massive change between 0.31 and 0.32 with the API. If we do it well enough, we might keep the version 0 in there, depending if people want to keep the version 0. So, yeah. And yeah, there'll be some things that we will continue doing with 0.31 whilst we're designing 0.32. Because there's got to be a lot of research that I've got to do for 0.32. There's things I don't know how to do, for example, the routing for the VueJS and so forth like that. And just properly designing the thing, because now that I've got all the functionality that I need, I know what functionality I want, it's just designing it properly. So, yeah. Anyway, getting back into this, so we've got the permissions in here. So we've got the args, that's going to be a 0, so we can't get that from there. We have to get it from the quarks. So we've got the destination as Kanban card. Perfect. So we go into here, Kanban card. Now in here, we've got Kanban card here. All right, cool. Kanban card ID equals that. And then we pass through all of that information into this in here. We should. I'm going to put a breakpoint there for the extra permissions. We're just going to go plastering through into there. And what we want to do is we've got extra permissions equals nothing. If extra permissions is in quags, we actually pop it out. Those couple of lines I think we can shorten in the future, but we're not going to worry about that today. We've got the user group. So making sure all of that is fine. So we've got a user group in here. We don't have the results yet because once again, this is all lazy. We got the quags is greater. All right, cool. So I'm just gonna hit the length of the group results here. So we've got the, all right, so the Kanban card object filter, Kanban card ID equals the quags Kanban card ID. Now I'm double checking the Kanban card ID. So that one would have been number 2, apparently. Oh, that is not correct. Should be 201 that we're dealing with. So we've got a critical bug here because this should be uploading the link to here. All right, I'm going to test this out. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to paste it in. We're going to go straight to the Kanban board. One way to test this out is we jump into here. We're going to go over into the downloads. I'm just going to add in a link. We're just going to go to NearBeach homepage. Yes, nearbeach.org. We're just going to bump it over there. So the system knows that it's gone into here. I'm just going to double check that. Boom. All right, cool. I've just confirmed the bug. What's actually happening is I'm sending an ID of 2 to the back end when it should be 201. So, oh, this is, we're going to need to build this into all right. I'm gonna have to build it like that. The reason why I'm building it like this is I'll have access to the view tools. So this stuff here. And what we want to do is we want to jump into the Vuex. I'm just opening up a card. I'm going into the downloads and I'm going to add link in. And the thing is, what we could do is we can jump to the components like this. Oh, this has pages, all routes. All right, cool. So I'll be playing around with this later. So in here, what we've got is the Kanban information. And then we've got new Kanban link wizard. And in here, we've got the wrong location ID. This will be the new link Kanban wizard. Because the Kanban board is 2. What we want to actually have, we probably need to get rid of that prop, is we need to actually get that card information in here. And we can get that from Vuex. So if we jump onto Vuex, we've got card. We've actually got the correct card here because we've opened up the card. It stores that information. It's not getting rid of that information because it can reopen up this very easily. So what we want to do, yeah, no sucks, is I'm going to go and find this add link wizard. Actually, because it's specific Because once again, if we open up this, we've got it down here as, oh, new link. No, I'm looking at the wrong one. This is add link wizard. So it's generic and Kanban card. Yeah, it's bringing down the wrong information. Okay, and that's part of the Kanban information section, and I can't actually change that. Because the one problem is this is used everywhere. So it's also used on project information, task information, requirement information, and so forth like that. Anywhere where we upload a document. This destination is correct. It's the location ID that isn't. All right, I've got a couple of ideas. What I'm going to do is I'm going to refresh the page. Great, we've got a empty state where I haven't actually edited anything. We're going to have a look at the view, look at that particular VueJS for the card. In here, we've got card ID 0. Perfect. I have an idea, and what we want to do is we want to go to Kanban information. I want to file mask that back to view. We've got it right here. So if we scroll all the way back up, at the bottom, we've got our modals, which we're happy with. All right, all of these modals perfectly fine being here. We've got the new Kanban link wizard. We're like, sweet, but this is the document add link wizard. That really should be renamed to add document link wizard. That could be part of the refactor. Oops, wrong shortcuts. The joys of using Mac all day. I keep using the Mac shortcut keys on Linux and the Linux shortcut keys on Mac. This is my day. All right, we're going to go over here. I'm just going to create a very quick link. And what I want to do is refactor or / rename add link wizard to add document link wizard. All right, and I just need to justify this. The naming will separate it out to notify new developers that it is a part of the document process. Easy done. This is a low priority, minor bug. It's submitted. Yeah, I'll work on it. This is part of the documentation. Easy done. We're actually going to put this for RC. We're going to do this with 032. Doesn't need to happen now. It's a nice to have. And I've only just noticed it because I was going through here and being like, all right, cool, yep. We should also do that with all of the other ones and so forth. We'll come across it. So down here, we've got destination Kanban card, that's hard coded, but we've put in the location ID, and what we want to do is under our compute, man, I've got a lot of props, and the good thing is when we redesign this whole thing, we're getting rid of a lot of props. All right, so down here with the compute, we've got the get card ID and we've got a card ID. Sweet, we've got something for this. So I just need to scroll up with the add link wizard. Instead of location ID, it's going to be the card ID, and it's going to be the same with the folder. Okay, easy done. We're going to fix 2 issues with 1 stone. Add new note history. Yeah, all of these. I've just missed 2. That's all. New Kanban link wizard. No, we need the location ID for that one. All right. So going back over into our code, we're just going to wait a couple of seconds. We're going to hit refresh. Everything should pop up. So if I click on this, we go to the downloads. We now click on this. We now go to add link. We're going to go NearBeach homepage. We're just going to go. All right, so we're just going to add that in. We now have a breakpoint, which I'm going to get rid of. I'm just going to hit play. I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm going to hit play. I'm going to hit play again. I'm going to hit play multiple times. Where is my breakpoint? Go away. Thank you. I'm going to hit play. Going to hit play. All right. And we're just going to refresh. We're going to actually make sure that that particular link works still. Cool. Done. All right. And if we add in a folder, that should also now appear here. And if we refresh, there, done. And this user can move that in. Ooh, we just got a 500 error. Let's move that off to the left. Let's click on this. Let's go response. Cannot resolve Kanban board. Oh. Yeah, they're right, because the Kanban board doesn't have any documentation on it, because all that documentation is at the Kanban card level. So, yeah. All right. Oh. This is why we test. We never really tested this particular functionality. I am going to put that in. Kanban card, moving document under folder. So method 1, log into NearBeach. 2, open up an existing Kanban board. 3, go to a card. 4, go to the document section, create a folder and upload a document. Move the document under the folder via drag and drop. Expected results, move successful without any issues. Actual results, 500 error. System gets Kanban board instead of Kanban card as destination. All right, cool. This is a quick and easy fix. Hopefully quick and easy. That's a famous last word. All right. So this I would say is pretty major. Definitely a bug. This is definitely going to be assigned to me. This is definitely going to happen in 101. This is part of the documentation. We're going to create that. I'm just going to close that for a second. Where's the one I created before? Let's just go straight to it. Oh, I didn't make it as a bug. All right. I need to make that one as a bug. So that one would be part of the... Yeah. So yeah, that one I don't want to deal with at the moment. All right, so add link. Oh, we've reached an ad break. I do apologize. Here we go. Welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone's going well. So yeah, I might stand. Tell you what, I will stand. Okay, down I go. Oh, all right, it stops there. All right, getting back into it. Got about 30 seconds left of the ad, and then we'll jump back into it. I just got to create this bug. I'll send the code up, and then we'll also fix this other bit of code. Yeah, this is why we test. So yeah. It's good that we're testing with low privilege users, because yeah, I wouldn't have picked this up with an admin. All right, welcome back, everyone. Let's get back into it. Okay, so add link wizard not getting correct card ID passed on Kanban board. Issue add link wizard and add folder wizard not getting alert. Issue the on the Kanban information .view the code was not including the correct card ID. Instead, it was including the Kanban board ID. All right, cool. Needs. Okay. That one I would say is definitely critical. That one's submitted. That one's assigned to me. That one is part of the Kanban, the technically documentation. All right, and we did fix in 101. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to remove static. We're going to go git status. I'm going to go add. Not local, sorry, source, git status, cool, git commit. And what we want to do, bug fix, cool, easy done. All right, I still want to do npm run watch because I want to see what this data tells me. So I'm just going to go that one to ready for retesting because it is. This one I'm not going to worry about. I'm going to click on this one. We are Kanban card. This is one we're working on right now. Yeah, no socks. All right, so I'm gonna hit refresh. Everything's gonna reload. I'm gonna bump on that. I'm gonna go down to downloads. I'm just gonna replicate it. 500. We know that it's in a Kanban board instead of Kanban card. And what we can do is we can look at the headers and we can go, all right, cool. It is sending Kanban board. And we're like, but why? If we have a look at the, that will be part of the documentation. I'm going to have a look at the view. We've got the Kanban information. We open all that up, and then we should have the Kanban card information somewhere. So we've got the card information under there. Easy done. In here, we don't pass much. There's no props or anything passed to it. It's all gathered from upstream. Sorry, guys. Bless me. All right. So, coming in here, we've got all this. If we go to the documents module, we'll have a look. It says override destination Kanban card, however, which should override this Kanban board. Because that's the yeah, it gets its destination. However, we've implemented an override status, and I think that override status is just not working. So if we have a look under here, we can see, yeah, those are just the basic sort of stuff that we're all set up. So this is part of the documents module. Yeah, I just think that's it. All right, so we're going into the documents module. Here we are. What we want to do is we want to apply the override where applicable. Give me a couple of seconds. All right. So drag start, drag leave, drop. So when it's dropping, it does something. Get destination, get document list. Now, that's what we're currently doing. Get folder list, handle documentation move. And there it is. That should be this dot get destination. And that get destination will check for the override. If the override exists, it'll be like, sweet, we're gonna override. And I'm also gonna do that with the folder move. And yeah, that was pretty much it. Very quick and easy bug fixes. Yeah, there's no... Luckily, there hasn't been any critical ones that have taken forever. So, now, if I refresh what we want to do, we want to move that to the right. We want to click on this. We want to go into our downloads. We want to move this. And we've got a 403 now, which is a different error. We've got the document key. We've got the parent folder. 403 means forbidden. We've got the Kanban card. So it's going to be the same issue we had before. We're going to fix this all in one bug. All right, cool. We're just going to go update documentation. Where we're going to move on to the Python. So we've got the update documentation. We're going to go to that implementation. So here we are. We are sending Kanban card to the back office. We are using check generics. We're going to go into here. We are checking all of this. We should get the extra permissions and all that kind of stuff from here. I'm just going to put in a little breakpoint there. We're going to do this again. We're just going to move that. We've hit this permissions. So the destination does equal Kanban card. So we're going to move forward and same issue as before. So if we move this to the left, it's actually checking the Kanban board for number 2. That's not what we want to do. We want to actually have the card 201 in here. So let's see what we've got over here. So with the Kanban information, if we open up this again, we've got the Kanban card information in here, and then we've got the documents module. Now in here, we're not doing the override ID. So I need to actually do one more little change in here. So we've got the get destination and it should be get location ID. I just haven't done that. So if I go all the way up to the top and I go this dot location ID, should take us straight down to here. This is the get location ID. It's simple override. That's it. That's the code. So, hey, override destination doesn't equal nothing. All right, send the override destination. Otherwise, send the location ID. Done. Here it is, and then it should be get location ID. We should get to the next one, and that will be get location ID. Easy done. We just didn't do those, and that's it. So now I've got to wait just a couple of seconds. I'm just going to hit refresh. I'm just going to move that to the right, and we're going to double check this. We're going to go to the downloads, the documentation. Ooh. Why is there no data? All right. We shouldn't have corrupted anything. So we've got the documentation Kanban card, we've got the list and the files, and if we go into the response, all right, no, this is a silly one. It's not a bug. I just had a breakpoint. And essentially it hit that breakpoint and I didn't realize, and it just didn't send back any information. So we're going to try that one again. No code changes or anything like that. There we go. Just silly bug. We're going to move that across. Boom. It goes in there, and there it is there. If we hit refresh again, we'll hit the information. We'll go to downloads. Look, it's there. Everyone's happy. It goes into there, and then we're like there for that one, and we're like, all right, cool. This one's now working. It's moving around the correct bit of information. So this bug is now fixed. What we want to do, we want to copy this. We want to go over into our code. We want to do this. We want to go remove static. And then we want to go get status. There we go. Get add source. We want to go get commit. Bug fix. And then we just paste that in. And then we just go git push. Done. All right, I'm going to close my curtain because it's now dark and it is 7:46. All right, cool. That is awesome news. I do need a garden tomorrow at lunchtime. I need to put my corn and sunflower into the ground. So yeah, Melbourne weather. I was hoping to do it either today or yesterday because we have a couple of days of warmth. And they would have taken off. It's like, damn it. All right, if I do it tomorrow morning, it should be fine. Yeah. Should be fine. Famous last words. All right, so this one's ready for retesting. So I'm happy with that. That's all done. What we want to do is we've got the MISC. Once again, this is just a editor only user. We can add stuff in. I will add those tags in. We're all happy. Ooh, this user can't remove the tags. So this is a bug. This is why we test. So new user, edit user. Kanban card can't remove the tag. So method one log into NearBeach with edit only user to navigate to an open Kanban board. 3 open a card with tags. 4 navigate to the tag tab. 5 remove any tags. Expected results, tags can be removed. Actual results, tags cannot be removed. All right, easy done. This is a normal sort of bug. This is definitely getting fixed in this particular version. We'll fix it right now. All right, so going over here, I'm just gonna close all the tabs. What I wanna do is I wanna minimize all of that. We want to open up the source, JavaScript components. Now the tags are noted under the modules. So we've got modules, we've then got submodules and wizards. So we wanna open up this. We then want to go down and essentially, what do we want to open? We want to list tags module. Now the user level is greater than 1. Can an admin remove these tags? I need to actually refresh to get the latest bit of data. We need to go into MISC. Yes. An admin can. So I've got to check the user level. Oh, no, it will be up here. Carbon close. User level is greater than 1. So 1's read only. And that's a remove tag. So going back into this, we're going to bump that off to the left so you guys can actually see. We're going to open up the view. We're going to go to the view X and we're going to click on the user level. The user level is a 2. All right, we're gonna double check that going down. So we're gonna click on, not the route, sorry, not the timeline. We're gonna click on the components. And what we wanna do, we wanna click on the Kanban information. We want to expand it. We want to click on the MISC. Oh, there's the list tag module. So in here, we've got the user level is a 2. So this should actually work. All right. Hey. All right. I'm going to open up this. I'm going to hang on. This actually might be an issue or might not be an issue. We have had cases where I found an issue, then I've recompiled the code and it's no longer an issue. That's because I was using an old version. I actually fixed the issue without realizing. And then I found the issue with the decompiled version. All right, I am going to move that off to the right. We're going to open up the card. We're going to go into MISC. We do have them delete. All right, cool. I'm going to put this as won't fix. And the reason being is issue was because I did not have the latest compiled code. There we go. Done. We're not worried about that. We're actually going to take this off. That's fine. No one needs to know about it. I need to edit these. Edit, save, search. Give me a couple of seconds. We're going to move that off to 2. We're going to click on this. I'm going to move that off to that one. We're going to apply those changes. I'm also just going to do a few things very, very quickly. Give me a couple of seconds. Sorry. There's versions. This one's released and then we're archived. All right, cool. I'm gonna need to create a couple more in not that long, really. I mean, we're pretty much going to hit the target pretty much next week. And yeah, we're just going to start 032. But once again, there'll be quite a lot of things that we just do in tandem and stuff like that. I won't stop development on this. Yeah. All right. So that is working. Let's jump back into this. So we're all happy with that. Create a public link. That should actually just work. If we face and go, boom. Didn't actually get all the card information. No. All right, no, it was because there was a cache problem. Not a problem. All right, sweet. So that's working. Okay. Users, yeah, we can add users. We can do all of that fine stuff because you can edit a Kanban card. All right. So what do I want to do? So I'm just having a quick think. What else can I test on this? I don't think there's much left to test on this. We'll come back as a read-only user. So let's jump back into the read-only. I'm going to go localhost. We're going to go read-only. We're going to bump straight in. We're just going to go find objects. We're just going to scroll all the way down to Kanban board. We're just go, there we go, easy done. All right, so in here, what we want to do is we just want to open up we can't move that for this particular user. Can't edit anything. This user does have notes. That's perfectly fine. We're not worried about that. They can't, yep, cool. They do have documentation permission. That's perfectly fine. They don't have any of that, but that's, yeah, cool. I'm happy. Going back to this particular user, let's actually move on to the next sort of object that we want to do, RFC. So they can add stuff in, they can change this. That got saved perfectly fine. Yep, perfect. Cool. They can also submit. We can also see the runtime. We can add in a new change title, pain. All right, cool. Yep, easy done, and then, yep. There we go. Now they should be added in automatically whenever you do the Kanban cards. The idea being is, yeah, they should be added in. Yeah, I might redesign some of this. Give me a couple of seconds. Sorry, I'm just going to go to prod.nearbeach.app. We want to go on to Kanban information 2. All right, I'm going to bring that down. I can close that screen now. So with the Kanban information 2, I'm just going to put this in here. Got documentation, requirements, dashboard, search, Kanban board, sprint. Do I have request for change? Request for change. I'm going to put something into here. We'll need the groups, yes, but the users potentially not. So what we should do for this is that the groups will still exist, but the users will be automatic. as in who's working on this task. So, group, RFC, groups and users, design. So we're just gonna put this, yeah, I think we'll do that. We'll be working a lot on RFCs and improving the flow in 032. So the idea here is we'll still need groups functionality. However, the users should be automatic. For example, if a user has been added as either an implementer or QA on a change task, they'll be added to the pool of users. All right, socks. Whoa. Why are you meowing? When someone removes a group and there are still users assigned to that group in the change tasks, it will reject the removal of the group. All right, cool, easy done. So this will have a slightly different flow to other objects. Easy done. We're just going to add that card in. Yeah, cool. I'm going to move that back up. All right, so I'm not worried about that at the moment. All of this should be still fine. Most of with 032, we'll come back and have a look at the UI UX. I need to plan out pretty much every single page and how this flows. At the moment, a lot of this data is separated and all that kind of fun stuff because just how it's all done. And that in itself is a problem. All right. And yeah, one of the UI UX problems is someone will come in here, do all this stuff, and then hit that without realizing that they've got to actually hit that. So redesigning this so that we have the risk laid out as a simple document here, and then having that ability to edit, and either a modal or one of those little slide out things pop out and you edit it there, and then when you hit save, everything saves from that, I think would be a better solution. Because then the user knows exactly what they're saving. Yeah. And what I'm talking about with the slide out thing is, let's go into the docs. Not forms. I keep forgetting what it's called. Yeah, off campus. So having one of these pop up. Once again, I've got to actually sort of think about this, see what will work for NearBeach and what won't. So yeah, just redesigning stuff. All right, so we're all happy with a lot of that. That's just gonna get saved. That's just gonna, yeah, that's just gonna save. We can click into here, we can edit this, and instead of having this on another page and all that kind of fun stuff, yeah, once again, have it as that. But once again, I need to actually figure that out. All right, we're on another ad break. So yeah, slowly getting there with the testing. It's 8 o'clock here. We've been streaming just a bit over an hour. I think we'll fix this one up pretty quickly, and then we'll move on to more functionality. So there is a bit of functionality I do want to actually fully complete, and hopefully unit tests. So yeah, once we're done with the backend unit tests, we'll move to the front end unit tests. Yeah, hopefully it won't take too long to implement. But yeah, I've had a look at the definition of done that we defined many months ago now. We're actually almost there, which is nice. So yeah, I'll be happy to pretty much sign this off next week. Be like, all right, cool, yep. When I say sign off, once again, they'll still be developing on it. It's just that I'll be happy to be like, all right, cool, this is a good spot to actually also start the 032 design process. So yeah. All right, welcome back everyone. So going back into this, I'm pretty happy with a lot of this. Yeah, this is working. We're going to move on. We're going to do requirements. We should just be able to save the requirement, easy done. A lot of this, once again, we can add stuff in. A lot of this isn't going to change because we should have, oops, if we've got permissions on one, they should all be the same. The only problem is it's the destination. So yeah, that's looking like it's working. That's looking like it's working. We do that. If we actually remove the QA team, yeah, it kicks us out. Understandable functionality. Let's go back into another requirement. Oh, this is a project. Sorry, my bad. Oh, that's just the homepage. Yeah, I know, socks. So we've got requirement informations in here. We can go in here. Yeah. Ooh. The requirement item is currently closed, so that's implemented. If we go into review, it moves. All right, cool. So that's not a bug. That's actually a feature. We can do that. Now, give me 2 seconds. I'm just wondering if I've got a problem with my chat at the moment. New. All right. So yeah, we can save stuff in there. We can create a new link. Let's link this up to a task. Ooh, that's a bug. Save changes. All right, create new link. Let's do that again. Project, that's way too much. So this is part of the new requirement link wizard. I'm just going to quickly find this. Let's go to home. Let's not do it in directory, and let's take the file mask off. This should be that one there. So we're not doing the pagination correctly on this. So let's go over into here. Let's actually write this up as a bug. Let's paste this in. Let's go pagination not working on this component. Please note how many pages there are. We should be using the composition for this. All right, cool. And I'm just going to take a quick image. It's done. We just scroll down. We just go like that, and we're like, whoop, and have a look at that. Copy that, go into here, paste it in, wait a couple of seconds. We're all happy. Priority. This is just going to be normal. Bug, yeah. State submitted, yeah. Assigned to me. Subsystem. This would be link. Object links, and definitely this version. So let's just create it. Let's open it up. All right, so going in here, we'll scroll down. So this would be above the save changes. It's like number of pages for index, number of pages, and all that kind of fun stuff. All right, how have I implemented it everywhere else? Let's apply a file mask. We only want to look at the VueJS sort of stuff. All right, I am realizing that I didn't do that correctly. So in here, we've got that, we've got we've got number of pages. However, number of pages is going to be 1. And then what do we do? So we're doing it incorrect here too. I know we did something where we created an array. Yeah. So index and that get pass int does not equal current page. Number of pages. All right. I know we did it somewhere else. Set of pages, yeah, that's how we did it. New Kanban link wizard. That's not right. All right. New link wizard. I'm going to open up this one. That one's correct, so we're bumping that one off to the right as reference. We're just going to go from the bottom. So that one's right. That one's right. That one, new link wizard, new requirement link wizard, new requirement link wizard. That one's wrong, but we've already got that file open. That one's right. Number of pages, new Kanban link wizard. That one's wrong. That one's just, yeah, we'll ignore that one. So what we've got to do is we've got to set up what the new link wizard already does. New Kanban link wizard. So I'm going to also replicate this with the Kanban board. So we're going to duplicate this tab. We're just going to go Kanban information 2. We're just going to go there. We're just going to go link object. We're going to pick a project. We're going to, yeah, it's happening there. So I need to fix it in 2 different locations. New requirement link pagination. We're going to just do this all in one bug. So what we'll need in here is set of pages dot length is greater than 1. And then in here, we've just got set of pages. That just passes through. We don't actually have this set up at the moment. It won't take us long to set up. I think pass int this. This actually does change because we've got index dot destination page and index dot destination page, because the index can actually have 2 in there. So index dot destination page equals the pass, and that will be the pass int for the current page, and we're all happy with that. And then it'll be index dot destination page. Yeah, we're sweet with that. And then we've got the index dot text. because the page number itself we can actually have the little greater or less than symbols put in there, hence we're using .text. Saves us having to do more sort of work on the page itself. All right, cool. So that one's fine. We just need to set up the data now. So if we go down here, we've now got set of pages, and that's going to be nothing, I do believe, at the start. So number of pages, set of pages, yep. And then the number of pages will be 1. Yep, we're happy with all of that. Now we just got to fill out set of pages. And that actually happens with that one little line when we actually get the data. So I'm just looking for the Axios command under the methods. So under here, we get all the data. We got the current page and all that kind of stuff. And then we set up the set of pages. And that is grabbed from another function. So I've got to actually do 2 things up here. Get set of pages. That will be like that, but we're going to import the composables. So I've got to scroll all the way up. There we go. It's import the composables already. So I'm just going to go composable in here like so, and then naive UI like so. Easy done. Famous last words. This should just work. Hang on. We also have save links. That's not getting us anything, so that's perfectly fine. So we've got to do it for this one too. So it's going to be set of pages dot length, and if memory serves me correctly, that's set of pages dot length. Yep. All right, cool. And then that will be set of pages, and then that will be index dot destination page, index dot destination page, and then current page. Yep, that's making sense. And then dot destination page. All right, and then we just need the text here, so we're happy with that. And then we just go text, easy done. Don't know. That should be 3 equals. So down here, what we need to do is we need to do the composables. This will be import. That will be get dest. No, it's forgot what it is already. Get set of page. All right, cool. Get set of pages, and that's from composables. I don't think are at that level. Composables are at that level. Pagination, and then get set of pages. JavaScript. All right, cool. Easy done. And then in here we need the composables, don't we? No, it's down in the methods. We now need the composables, so get set of pages. That just tells, hey, method, we need this. I'm just going to once again copy that one line and paste it into here because we just need it there. That's pretty much it. It's, yeah. I'm going to hit refresh. We're going to go into links. We're going to go create a new link. We're going to hit project. If we scroll down, that's not quite right. Now that might be, did I compile this right? There we go. So the good news with this is a lot of it's plug and play because it's just simple maths. We're getting a couple of values from the back end and we're like, all right, cool, this is what we need. And we just paste it in and it gives us the results we need and want. So that's done. And then I'm going to hit refresh with this one. I'm going to do that so you guys can see me what I'm doing. So I'm going to go link, I'm going to go project, down, done. All right, cool. This is now fixed. I'm just going to copy this. We're just going to go, all right, ready for retesting. We're going to go over here. We're going to remove any static files. We're going to get status. We're going to add anything from source. We're going to get commit. We're going to go bug fix. And we're just going to paste it in very, very quickly. And we're just going to push. Consider using aliases because the ... is horrible. Ooh, all right. Thank you very much for the recommendation. Oh, where's my browser? I'm happy to implement that. That's not going to be a problem. And if you're migrating from Vue CLI to Vite, you might find that, oh, I'm not on Vite just yet. But this is, because we're still using Webpack, will this work with Webpack? And welcome, welcome. I'm going to butcher your name. I'm VueJS. VueJS. Welcome, welcome. I do hope you are enjoying my content. Yeah, currently at the moment we're using Webpack. If this works in Webpack, yeah, we can implement this very easily. Ooh, all right, cheers. Thank you very much for that. But we are going to move to Vite, or try to move to Vite, or Vite, or however you pronounce it. As you can tell, I'm terrible at pronunciation. So, yeah. All right, implements a clean alias for your imports on how to do it. All right, cool. If we do that with Resolve, I'm gonna do this so everyone can read. Okay, resolve these options changes how much the modules are resolved. Webpack provides reasonable defaults, but it is possible to change the resolving in detail. Have a look at the module resolution for more example of how resolver works. Resolve object, configure how modules resolve. For example, when calling import load dash in ES 2015, the resolve options can be changed where Webpack goes to look for load dash, the modules. All right, cool. Resolve.alias. Ooh, all right. No, I like this. Because then I can do components. I can then, yeah. Sorry, I'm now getting ideas in my head. All right, so what I could potentially do is if we open up the source, I know this is tiny text, I do apologize, but we've got like JavaScript resources and stats. Don't worry about resources, they're just the static files, but under the JavaScript, we've got all our sort of JavaScript set up. We've got the app, we've got the components, we've got the globals, loader, and all that. And once again, a lot of this is going to be changing in 0.32. We can easily have one for the components and one for the composables. And yeah, you're right, it will stop the ... backslash and all of that, because I can just go components, customers, and then customers module. And then let's say you're in here, instead of having ... like that, you can have composables, theme, and yeah, no, I like this. And it should be easy to hopefully set up. Famous last words. Famous last words that I constantly to say. Let's play around with it. Let's just do it. Okay, cool. So resolve aliases. So we do require path. That should be perfectly fine. I'm just going to close all tabs. I'm going to minimize everything, and that's just so that I've got a clear line in my head. This will be part of the common. So this will be for both prod and dev. We've got the modules. So this will be exports, resolve, alias. We should have path in here. Yep, we've got path. God, I haven't opened up this Webpack file in a long time. Yeah, you basically set @ for the root, or so you don't need to worry how nested you are. Yeah, no, I like that idea. It's also, if someone goes to a random component, they can they don't need to worry where they are on the file structure or how deep they are and stuff like that, because you just go add component. I know the component's going to be under this. Done. So yeah, no, I like this. And thank you very much for the follow, and terribly sorry for butchering your name. When I see that many consonants together, I freak out. So yeah. Hopefully you're going well. Welcome, welcome. All right, so we want resolve. I'm going to put this at the bottom. And then we want alias. And then what we want is, so if we go utilities, now instead of using the relative paths like that, we go utility, and then that will be source utilities. Oh, so I can even go one step further. So I can do one for the components, and I could potentially do one for all of these, but I'll probably also do one for the modules. I'll start off small. I'll do one for the components, I'll do one for the modules, just because the modules are used a lot. I could go submodules and then wizards, but no, I think modules will be good, because then you can go submodules and then, yep, all right, cool. And then one for the composables. So I've just got to look up, so it's utilities template, so they're using capitals. Not a problem, I can use capitals too. So we'll go components, path.resolver. And yeah, they've got, yeah, directory name. Yep, all right, cool. And that will be pretty much that. And then we'll have one for composable. That'll be like that one. And then we'll have one for modules. And it's not going to be like that. It's actually going to be in components and then modules. I think the rest should be fine, because you'll just go components, change task, and then what you need. Yeah, I think that will be good. And then I just need to update everything to that. All right. I'm just thinking how I would do this across the board. A find and replace would work. So if we do actually, let's go composables. Not quite. All right. So what I want to do, that's not going to be the highest one. That's probably going to be the highest one. All right. So that's the highest one. Now I want to do a find and replace on that, and then I'm going to go to the next lowest one and the next lowest one until I've replaced all of those with just saying composables. And there's no, yeah, just say composables. All right. So what I want to do is I want to find and replace in everything. Replace in files. So we're going to replace that, and then what we want to do is composables, I think. ESLint would be the best for auto sort import using alias, etc. Okay. I'm just gonna hit replace all. Some evil like that. I just want to see if this compiles. Ambient run watch. Ah, wrong key. Well, it compiled. Alright, didn't error, couldn't find module composables, card information. Oh, alright. I need to read the documents more. A trailing dollar can be added to give the object keys a significant in an exact match. Alright. So resolver, aliases, utilities, I've just composable. Did I forget the / at the end? That might be it. Oh, socks, really? And they don't have that out the front. Alright, socks. Come here. Come here. Come on. You're like, no. Oh, come here. You're meowing at me for being picked up. Say hi to chat. Alright. In your bed. 15 errors. Alright, cool. Can't resolve composables, card information, and in home, NearBeach, site, NearBeach. Alright, that's so far the correct address. Source, JavaScript components. Modules, wizards. Did I do something wrong? I've done something wrong. Alright. Source components, composables. I've definitely done something wrong. Can't resolve that. Card information. Yeah, I've done something really wrong. All right, let's get status. All right, remove static. Whoops, wrong command. Remove static. Get status again. Easy done. Oh, thank you, socks. I'm going to check out everything that we've done under source. There we go, easy done. I could have just done a find and replace and I've done something wrong. Highly likely, let's just say that. All right, we're going to find and replace in files. We've got the composables that we should be replacing. And then if we have a look under the JavaScript composables, we do actually have card information in there. Okay. So what I'm going to do, yeah, start with one import, yeah. I'm going to start with this one. So this is the add link wizard. This should be on a lot of different pages. And what we want to do is we want to get rid of this composable and write in composable. What I also want to do is they said you can use $, trailing $signs can be added to a given object's key to signify an exact match. All right, probably not what I want. Wildcards, no, not what I want. All right, we'll leave it And we're just going to go composables. I'm also going to copy and paste because there's times I misspell stuff. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it in. I'm going to double check. So import that from composable. Yep. All right, cool. Oh, you are, yeah. Yes, you are correct. I don't know how you saw that because I didn't. Cheers. Thank you very much. I've got a typo in the folder, don't I? I don't know how long that typo's been in there. All right. We can do one of two things. We can fix up the typo. I think, yeah, let's fix up the typo in the folder itself. Actually, hang on. Let's double check. It's not a typo. Just thinks it's a typo. All right. Not correcting the typo. Cool. No one can blame that on me. I copied it from here. Composables. All right, that should work now. If we do, whoops, npm run watch. Let's just run and watch it. Let's see what happens. Okay. Oh, successful. All right, we just need a page where that is on. I know one should be on a project page. So that link wizard should belong down here. Create a link because you're actually linking it to something else, and that would be the pagination sort of stuff down there. Let's do it across the board now. Let's be dangerous. Let's go replace in files. Sorry, it sucks. We're just looking at the view. We are going to copy and paste the correct terminology. All right, so we're just going to replace all of these because I live dangerously. And then this shouldn't take too long to redo. Famous last words, it's taking forever. Ooh. Composables, uploads. All right. Oh, one other thing. Did I need to make the name change there. I need it to be consistent. So we have add link wizard. This will now be wrong. We just paste in the correct, copied and pasted from the Vue documentation spelling into there. We're just going to stop that. We're just going to rerun it. It'll be a lot quicker. Sorry, this does take about 10 to 20 seconds. Done. All right, perfect. And then what I want to do is I'm just going to hit refresh. Everything should just work. We don't have any console logs or anything like that. All right, the linked objects, these will definitely work because the pagination is part of that. Composable sort of stuff. These work perfectly fine. That's rendering that out awesomely. If we go into here, let's pick a task. There'll be a lot more tasks. I can go to the end page and all that kind of stuff. All right, so the next stage is to do the next level. So we want to go once again, find and replace in files. Instead of it doing an up at that level, I'm just going to do it at that level. I'm just going to go replace all, replace all. I'm wishing I knew how to open that up in, I wish I knew the shortcut for opening replacing files. Control Shift R. All right, now I do. And then we just do that. There's nothing there. I'm happy with that. All right, cool. So the next thing I've got to do, so we've just done the composables, or however you pronounce them. We now want to do the modules. And these will be, yeah, modules. All right, cool. So, oops, wrong one. Control-Shift-R. We want to change that to modules. We're after ... All right, cool. I don't know why we've done that. Trash can from components. Alright, we'll probably have to fix that. Not a problem. Alright, what we want is modules. And yeah, we're just going to replace all of these. And then we do it like this. And then we replace all of those. And it should be fine now. All right, cool. That one's done. So the next thing I got to do is, it's going to be harder for the components, but I just want to see what's happening here. All right, this is the render sprint card. This is all up there. I want to go minimize that. I want to do that. I want to open up this. I then want to go. This one's probably going to take the longest to do, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Still compiling, perfectly fine. It is still doing that perfectly fine. And we have tests to see if I've screwed up, because I've screwed up so much. So yeah. All right, the next thing I want to do is source JavaScript under components. And this is then under this. Yeah, submodules. So we're in here, we go up to modules, and then we go up to components, and then we go up to JavaScript, and then back down to components. That doesn't make much sense. Oh, it's... Oh, why am I doing that? This is the icons. If we were to do this using the new way, we'll just go import Kanban trash can from components. Is it components or component? Let's have a look. Components. And then from there, because it'll be at the components, it will be this is part of the icons. It'll be icons. And then it'll be carbon trash can. Oops, there we go. That should work perfectly fine, famous last words. No, all right. JavaScript components, modules. Source JavaScript components, modules, submodules, list sprints view. Render sprint card view, not the one we want. Field browser can't contain valid alias. Can't resolve components icon trash can. All right. Source components. Okay, all that's fine. Relative path. All right. Using description in file. Home, NearBeach, sites, NearBeach, source, JavaScript, components, icons, trash can. Oh, do I need a view? At the end. Yeah, I think I've mucked up somewhere. I think... Oh, I've put that on nice dates. What am I doing? All right, let's have a look. Let's wait for, I'm just going to npm run watch. But these icons are set up a little bit weird. I set them up in a particular way just to get them to work. So it could be one of those things that removed in data alert. All right, cool. Yeah. So source JavaScript components module. All right, that's the thing that we're doing. Where's it saying it can't find the file? I'll tell you what, we'll just revert what we've done. Okay, and we won't touch it again. Oops, wrong thing. I want to go to that implementation. So it's done down here. And I forgot why we've done it like this. There's probably a weird reason why I've done it like that. And all of this is hopefully going to be refactored into a better structure in 032. So yeah, all right. Let's go. That's all rebuilt. All right, cool. It's gonna hit refresh, make sure everything works. Yep. I'm not going to touch that one just yet. But yeah, we've done it for a couple of the icons. And there must be a reason why we've done it for a couple of the icons. I think it's how we call them or something like that. Something silly. Oh, I'm not going to spend too much time on that. I'm just going to move on. The next thing we've got to sort of worry about is all the components, but the one problem is we've still got a lot of that in place. And so for example, validation rendering, I need to actually find how we get to that level. That might be just components. Actually, no, that's components rendering. No. Where are we with this? New user. So it goes up from new user. Oh no, there it is, validation. All right, so in that sort of case, this will then become components, like so. And that should just work. Famous last words. We'll stop and rerun because I don't know if it's rerunning it. Okay, come on. Show me potato salad. Yeah. No module. Oh yeah, that's all the bootstrap sort of stuff. Yeah, yeah. I'm not too worried about that because 032. We'll be having a look at all of that shortly. Hopefully in the next couple of streams, we'll be looking at redesigning a lot of this. So that is working perfectly fine. Now we need to quickly, well, what I want to do, validation, we'll do something like that, and then we'll find how far back it can go. All right, so that's as high as it will go. So if we do something like that, we can then go components, and then validation for that. We're going to replace all of them. We're all happy with that. And then we've got that for the next level. And we're going to replace all of that. All right, sweet. And Nocturnal, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. How's your deadlifts going? Actually, the camera's there. I don't know why I'm looking up there now. Sox is currently cleaning herself after she has caused only a minor trouble on the stream. All right, it has failed. Components validation. All right. Yep. Shoot. I forgot to add in the /. Not a problem. Because what we want to do is we just do this. We copy this. We go and add that / back in. And we replace all of those. Now I've got a duplicate here. What we want to do is we want to find all duplicates. All right, no, not a problem. Grab this one. I think it's Shift Tab to get back. Yep, and then you do that, and then we do that. It was only in one place. All right, cool. Everything's compiling perfectly fine. Pages should just redo, and then if we actually go into we can't actually create anything with this particular user, but we can with the admin. So if we go in, we hit this, the validation still works. So yeah, perfect. You're good. Oh, that's good to hear. Gym was okay. Oh, that's nice. How am I doing? I'm doing good. I need to go back to the gym more. I've been given the green light to get back on my bike. So yeah, I haven't had a proper cycle session yet. Starting to warm up here. Today I was hoping to get the corn into the garden, but I just didn't have time. I just constantly busy day. But like Melbourne weather is finally warming up. So we had a 22-degree day today. It was nice. We're going to have a couple of warm days. So hopefully tomorrow morning before work, I get my corn and sunflowers planted in. And then, yeah, hopefully they'll survive this weather. And then next week will be a lot warmer. And then hopefully I can start sort of hoping my tomato seedlings will start growing soon. Yeah, I got to handle them very soon too. So yeah. my eggplant seedlings to... I've got a bunch of seedlings that need to start going into the ground. And then I need to sort of put protection around them to make sure the cats don't sit on them. And I'm hoping that bird doesn't rip them up. Bloody bird. Pissing me off, that bird. Alright, so that should be fine. So validation rendering is working. Alright, and we could do this for all these particular folders. Admin doesn't have one. Card information does. So what we want to do is we want to do that. And then change task. Ooh, does. But that's just in one location. That can be components. Dot change task. Alright, cool. Dot customers. Customers do. Easy done. Set socks on the bird. Yeah, I should. The bird wakes up really early though. I think earlier than socks and I wake up. Dashboard shouldn't have one. Dates does. Alright. So we actually want to replace all of that, and then we just go dates. Then we go replace all. Alright. Oops, wrong one. Diagnostics, yeah, that one won't have. GD Gantt chart. Tell you what, I'll get rid of that. That way I can, and then groups, no icons. There we go. And then I'll just change that to icons. And then we'll just go replace all, and then replace. Yep, alright, cool. And then Kanban. And then, where were we? Modules. Actually, no, we've already done the modules. My planner shouldn't have one. Notifications shouldn't have one. Object scheduler doesn't have one. Object status doesn't have one. Organization does. So I'm just going to go organizations, and then we're just going to replace all. Easy done. And then what we need to do is permissions. Yeah, permissions does have one. So I'm just going to go permissions. Easy done. I've broken something somewhere. Fox is looking sleepy. Wake her up with the treats. All right, cool. I can quickly do that. All right, Socks. You know what that? Yeah. She suddenly woke up. She's like, "Ooh, treats." All right, we will go to the secret screen. Oh, that screen's a little too big. All right, give me a couple of seconds. I just need to fight Socks for the mouse. We'll put it there. That looks good enough. No, Socks. There. All right, cool. Don't try and fight me. Just got a little paw out, and she's like, psh, 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 give me the treats. There we go. Oh, sorry about that yawn. Okay. Aw, Socks. She's like, yeah, more treats? No. Say, treats? No. Let's get back into it. So I've broken something somewhere. I can't resolve components, permissions, group permissions, and so forth like that. So I've made a boo-boo somewhere. I'm just going to close that. Group permissions. So it can't. Aha. All right. Easy fix. So dot components. This is in all project. We are matching the case. So as you see, I've got these dot components like that. Yeah, I'm just going to do it like that. I'm going to replace all. I'm just going to stop this because I think it takes a little while to actually find those changes. It'll be interesting to see how long Vite takes to do all this compilation and stuff like that. There we go, cool. That was the issue. It'll be good to see when we remove Bootstrap what happens. If we can remove Bootstrap, that will be actually quite good. All right. Socks, they're waiting for you in your bed. Come on. The camera's over there, so hop in your bed. In your bed. You know you want to get in your bed. All right. You can sit there. All right. This should reload perfectly fine. Cool. Update requirement. Yep, that's perfectly fine. Go into, no, that one won't work. This one will just, yep, and then create project, and that one will have that. However, the toast didn't pop up for that one. But it did pop up with this one. Let me just refresh this page. Let's hit, yeah, it popped up for that one, but new project, it didn't pop up at toast. Hang on. There we go. All right, cool. Everything's still working. I'm happy with that. Where were we? So we're done permissions. All right, Socks, can I have my hand? Thank you. Thank you. She was just looking at then. Profile doesn't need to be done. Projects doesn't need to be done. Public doesn't need to be done. Render does need to be done. So what we want to do is we want to go down here and go render. Socks. What the hell have you done? All right. Alright, sorry, I gotta have my hand back, sweetie. Request doesn't need to be done. Requirements shouldn't be done. Search will. No, alright, cool. Sprints, nah. Tags, nah. Tasks, nah. Users, no. Alright. Composables. Oh no, that's folders down and stuff like that. Looks like we've just migrated that over. Ooh, we got another error. Dot components render. All right, cool. Easy done. Components. Yeah, this is just simple. Simple fix. All right, Socks has run away, so you get to see me again. She's like, I've got my treats. And I'm going to cause trouble for Patty. And I'm like, no, don't cause trouble for Patty. He just wants love. All right, I'm going to minimize this. Pretty much everything should be running. We shouldn't see any new errors on any pages or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go remove static. We're going to get status. We're going to make sure I don't add the local. I'm actually going to check out the local, because that just contains the database connection to the Postgres database. We don't need the database, that database anymore, and we're going to do some testing on the SQLite database, just the usual sort of testing. Anyway, we've just hit add time, so yeah, hopefully everyone's going well. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do this cube at the moment. Okay. Today's Wednesday. All right, cool. So I've still got a little bit to do. All right. All right. How are we with the ads? About 35 seconds left. Oops, I've made a mistake with that little one. Opposite green will be blue. I just want to do that, and then I just want to put that into there like that, and then so that will go. The white's going to go up there. The white will go onto there. There we go. Cool. And I should have all the centers done. So yeah, ready for the next ad break where we pair up the edges, and then the next ad break we'll solve it. So yeah. All right, so I've gotten rid of the local. We're going to remove the local database. We're going to go Python 3 manage, and then we're going to migrate. So we're going to remake that database. Oops, I have to actually be part of the virtual environment. Sorry, Python 3 manage migrate, not migration. And then we're loading in a fixture and we're doing a quick test. So Python 3 manage load data. We're just loading the data from the usual basic setup fixture. I've then got to, I'm just going to reboot the server just in case. And then what we want to do is npm run e2e. Actually, before we do, stop it. Sorry, npm run prod. The reason why I'm running prod is we want the latest compiled production code. Then we run our end-to-end tests, and that will test the whole thing. It'll open up every single page. It'll flag any pages that don't work. Now, the mobile Chrome sometimes doesn't work on the first login. Notice how it says it's still on the login page. We know about this issue. I'm sick of this issue. I will have to actually investigate what is causing this, just not today. It's on my to-do. It's just taking a little bit. All right, we're going to have a look at the report. So we can see 11 failed. They're all mobile Chromes. I'm not worried about that at all. What I can actually do is I can cancel and rerun them all. We actually do have checks to make sure that every single page does actually, well, we make sure that every single page that we're testing does not have any console errors. And I think we check for warnings too. Let's have a look. This will be part of the tests, end-to-end. This is just part of the shakeout tests. We also got 403 tests too. That's just to make sure logged in, non-logged in users are straight off to the admin page. So in here, what we do is, yeah, we've just got a bunch of pages, what we expect and so forth like that. In here, we've got the tests, the page, on console, message, type error, type consoles. Yeah, we expect there to be no errors. All right, and then no warnings and so forth like that. And we take a screenshot and yeah. So as you see, it ran perfectly fine the second time without any issue whatsoever. Yeah, it's just that mobile Chrome for some strange reason doesn't work on the first shot. So I'm happy with those changes. I'm going to remove static. I'm going to go git status, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go git add everything. This is a big change. Git commit. What is this called again? This is part of the resolve. All right. Applying Webpack resolve for. And Project Black, how are you? Welcome back. Hopefully you've been well. All right, give me 2 seconds. I'm just applying resolve Webpack, applying Webpack resolve for aliases of import aliases for view files. Go, easy done. And yeah, I really like that functionality. Okay, so that's done. And I didn't test the end to end. Sorry, not. I did test the end to end. I did test the unit tests. I don't see this failing. If it does, we're in trouble. Alright, and we should have done the vast majority of the aliasing. So yeah. Oh, that's good to hear. Project Black, what have you been building lately? New projects or the same old projects? All right, we failed. Failed to resolve components, change task, new title. All right, let's have a look. So if I minimize everything, I open up this, I then go into source JavaScript. Actually, before I make any changes, what I need to do is I need to copy all of these. Oops. Oh no, I quit it. All right, cool. Let's not worry then. So this would be part of the components, change task, and new change task. Yeah, no, that's fine. That should be fine. Did we just fail all of our unit tests? Not all of them. Because we do the Vite testing, I might need to actually set this up in Vite too, which is fine doing it now. All right, cool. I've got that open. Because initially we were going to move to Vite, and then I think I said no for a particular reason. And I forgot that particular reason because it's been years now, but we kept the unit tests. Sorry, yeah, we kept the unit tests in because we were happy with the unit tests. So what I've got to do is I've got to actually set this, the aliasing up also in Vite. Now that's not going to be a problem for me because we're going to essentially hopefully move to Vite finally. I've been doing some research and stuff like that to see how I would want to restructure some of the front end and so forth like that. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'll use Vite or Feet or however you say it, Vite. All right, so we just need to put in the resolve and the aliases, and they'll be pretty much the exact same. Common use case. Okay, let's try it. So I'm going to close that. I'm going to minimize everything. I'm going to open up NearBeach. We are going to open up our package log. I don't think that's in the package log. Sorry, this is part of the Vite stuff. So this is the Vite config. So down here, Vite config. All right, sweet. So we've got the tests. So we've got the define config up here. We've got the tests. I'm going to put the resolve just before the test, so resolve, easy done. We're going to do that. We're going to also go alias, and we're going to go I'm going to fill that one out no matter what, just so I can see it. So that will be then components, and then that will be resolve source components. Right. And Mohammed, how are you doing? I'm doing good, thank you very much. So yeah, we're enabling aliases into our code just to make the finding other components a lot easier to do. I use V2 on dev. I use it with a proxy, and then for setting up production, I build it, configure it to Django, and with the index HTML as the entry point. Ooh, nice. Yeah, so I haven't made up my mind how I'm going to change all of this, but we do have a very old ticket. Currently, at the moment, NearBeach uses a hybrid approach of sort of implementing VueJS and permissions and all that kind of stuff. The idea being is Django will render out some of the stuff, and then VueJS will handle most of the other stuff. We're going to change that completely. Oops, I can't type fast enough. Or I'm typing too fast enough. We did have an old issue. Oh, it's probably very old. All right, I won't be able to find it. But yeah, it was an old issue, and it was kind of stating, hey, it's probably best practice to essentially just get Django to handle the login information, handle the login and those credentials, and then essentially it'll be a single page application. So Vue will be the single page application. There'll be routing, there'll be this, there'll be that. It'll connect to the API. And then it'll just get all the information it needs from the API and all of that. So I'm having a look at how I want to set that up, what's the best sort of practices. Also implement stuff where if someone goes to a page, it'll instantly put something on the screen as a placeholder. And then once it contacts the API for the information for that, it'll send it back. I've just also got to figure out how to handle cases where user doesn't have access. So if something comes back and is like, hey, you don't have access, boom, send them to a different page where they just don't have access. So yeah, figuring all of that out. But the good thing is, we know what the functionality of NearBeach is. We know what to expect. Nowadays, we can sort of plan this a lot better, because we're like, all right, cool. We do this currently. Do we want to change it? Are we going to do that? And so forth like that. So yeah. Alright, getting back to this. So we've got components. I'm going to open up my Webpack, put that to the right for reference. So that is part of common. So I'll just put that over there. We are going to go scrolling down. So we've got composables. That's part of that, and then we've got modules, and we're happy with that. I'm going to probably delete that one. I think, hopefully this works. npm run unit test. Let's see if it works. Startup error. We've got a problem in the startup file. Let's go over here. So we've got a problem in here. And the Vite test config resolve is not defined. All right, I've broken resolve already. So plugins view resolve. Define config from Vite. Yep. It's probably this one. From node URL. Resolve is not defined. No, it's definitely resolve. All right. Definitely under plugins. Definitely under resolve. All right. Am I missing a package? Most likely. So I'm just going to be lazy, copy, paste, Google, paste. All right, resolve not. I should have put this as Vite. All right, give me a couple of seconds. Single page React for frontend. Yeah. So 031 will meet all its definitions of done very shortly. Doesn't mean I'll stop developing on it. So if people come, can I have this? Can I have that? I'll still develop that. Especially during the design phase of 0.32. So I forgot where I was going with this. Single page editor. Oh yes. So yeah, I'll be fleshing out all the API points in 31 and so forth like that as I design everything, being like, I need this particular endpoint, I need that particular endpoint, and so forth like that. So you will be able to use them in 0.31. And then when I move everything to 0.32, yeah, it's just a single page. Page hits the API, gets the data, re-renders stuff. Yeah, so it's what I'm hoping for. All right, let's just do, so definition, we've done all of that. Do we have path from path? What directory name? I'm guessing, maybe it's not being used. this directory name, and then we've got the source. Still. Oh yeah, resolve is not defined. I'm thinking of other different issues. Invite config 4421. Yeah. Okay, this is annoying. All right. Does it want that in there? Let's just copy that. Let's. Now done that. Still, yeah, we got that correct. Let's define config. There's yeah, still the resolved is not defined. All right. Config resolved is not defined. After adding in the path config, yada yada yada. On your line 17 webpack, your reference resolved. It is part of the path module. I was looking at the wrong one. I was looking at the resolve up here, being like, what? All right, no. I made silly mistakes. Okay, we're just gonna quickly do all of this. So far, so good. Done. All right, cool. That's all fixed. What we're going to go, git status, git add, git commit, applying resolve configuration to vite config to resolve unit testing issues. Cool, done. So yeah, I would have got an email being like, your unit test didn't work, and I'll be like, oh no, not again. Okay. That's all done. Sweet. All right, cool. So the great news is what we've done here will actually apply later down the track. I'm just wanting to, actually, I should have tested this before pushing all of that code. Yeah, let's just do another quick test to see if I need that. I mean, it looks like I don't need it. Alright, cool. However, actually, I'll add it in. Git commit move config unwanted config. done. Sorry, I just thought of that then when I should have removed it. Let's close all of these. So, yeah. All right. Everything should be working now. So app.circle, and then if I do pipelines git NearBeach. All right, so yeah, that's the one we failed. That's perfectly fine. We've done the fixes up here. They will work perfectly fine. All right, cool. I'm happy with that. Where did I want to go? Ready for retesting. It is 9:30. Is it really 9:30? Holy hell! It is 2. Okay, so I'm just gonna click on here. Are there any quick things I can fix in here? Kanban card, we're leaving that one because that one will be discussed. Search RFC show numbers. Oh, I've got to fix that up somehow. Yeah. I think I spent half a stream on that. But we're not going to do anything about that. The GDPR wizard, removing a user on... Oh yeah, that's just, yeah, that I just need to sit down and do that. Customer pagination needs to be applied to... Oh, yeah. But it's best if we got the API for that. Do we have... We don't actually have API version 0. Let's go organization. Is this organization or customer? This is customer. So what actually happens is if the customer's been got quite a lot of projects assigned to them, like active projects and tasks and all that kind of stuff, this whole page fills up very quickly, which is not ideal at all. So what we want to do is we want to have a look at, let's say, customer. Let's go 1. API. So organization and then customer. All right, cool. Oh, I'm not logged in, am I? No, I'm not. All right, not a problem. There we go. Let's go page rack up. Let's go boom. There it goes. So we've got the customer details. We don't have much more about that. We don't have any associated objects. So that will... Let's have a look at the front end. If we go to list all customers, let's go into socks. We don't have any associated objects at the moment, but I'll tell you what, let's just go into an object. Let's just assign a couple objects to socks, and my middle mouse button was not working. So I'm just going to go add customer. Let's just add socks. All right, easy. So from here, what I want to do is I want to go back to the customer. I'm going to go find objects, list customers. I'm going to go socks fluffy. I'm going to scroll down and there it is there. Now you might be wondering, is that actually sent to you at the start of the page render, or is it actually do we fetch that data after the fact? We actually fetch that data after the fact. So we've got object data customer, we put it in, and then we've got associated objects that pass through. And at the moment, we just get everything. Now, this is one of the calls that will move to the API, and we need to actually redesign this. Now, that being said, considering 0.32 needs to go through a design process and all that kind of stuff, we can actually fix this in 0.31 if we implement the associated objects for customers in the API. Now, I don't think we've done that already. Otherwise, we'll have associated objects in here. As you can see, we don't. So yeah, as you can see, we've got it done on the object data. That will probably have to move to somewhere else, but we could potentially do it. Now, the one problem is you'll notice that these are split up into 3 different sections, and we'll need to actually do that for this. Now, oh, I've just realized we're on an ad break. Sorry about that. There we go. For those on YouTube, yeah, we run ads every half an hour on Twitch. Don't worry about it. You don't get ads, or you shouldn't be getting ads. Like, they're not paying me. Yeah. All right, about 3 seconds left. And welcome back, everyone. All right, cool. All right, so the idea is we've got to plan this out. We're getting all the 3 bits of data, and we're like, all right, cool. What are we going to do? We can have a look at API points and go, do we have a search? We've got a coffee. We've got groups and users. Yes, socks. So if we go to, let's go up here. Let's go to project 1 group and user. We've got the groups and users, but that's as one giant sort of list. So it's broken up into separate sort of things, and you kind of get all that information. We might redesign a couple of these particular features. So for example, the potential group list, we don't need every single user coming through. Let's actually show you guys what that would look like. If I remove the database, let's go Python 3 manage migrate. I'm gonna add in the large database, the GDPR one, which we did tests for, and I don't know where Socks is. She meowed. It's just somewhere. Python 3 manage load data, where we're doing it from NearBeach fixtures. We're doing the GDPR one. It takes a little while to actually load in. Done. All right, cool. Going back over here, I'm just going to reset the server so it doesn't freak out. We're going to go back over here. We're going to need to log back in, so I'm just going to go into here. We're just going to go admin, easy done. This will now do this. And if we start minimizing all of this, the potential users are small. All right, cool. I didn't know if this was going to be a massive list. But the idea here is, with the potential group list and the potential user list, we might take the first 5 or to 10 and then implement the ability for, and because we can do this, is, for example, let's let's go over to this project. I'm just going to bump that off to the right. We're just going to scroll down. If you add a group to the project, all the groups are currently in here, minus the ones you already have, which is fine and dandy. At the moment, you can't actually filter in here. The idea which I'll have a look at is adding in a filter and also adding in the searchability. So it'll actually search to the back in the back office and pull out the groups you can potentially use. And then that also gets rid of, well, the potential user list and stuff like that. That'll be useful for having data in there so that when the user clicks on it, there's data there, instead of loading it after the fact. So yeah. Anyway, I'm blabbering about changes I want to implement and stuff like that. All right. And then yeah, there's a lot of changes I want to do. All right. Yes, all right, cool. Going back to this. We'll need to create an API endpoint. We'll need to actually separate each of these different sections into their own little sort of section, and then from there create pagination. It will need to be designed properly. Can be fixed in 0.31. However, that being said, it will have to rely on the API. Oh, sorry about that. It'll have to rely on the API. Idea being is if someone's on that page, and we can actually go to an example right now. So if I go to, let's say, list a customer, this particular customer, you can scroll down. There's a lot of information here, and we could potentially squeeze it down and just have a simple pagination through all of that. Yeah. So I've just got to think about how I would design that, how it would work, and so forth like that. So yeah. I still think possible in this particular one. All right, let's go back over here. There's nothing quick I can do in here. I'm going to move these on to 102. We're going to deploy these fixes tonight with NearBeach 101. Yeah. All right. Jump onto that. We don't have too many current issues yet. We've got about 20. That's perfectly fine. 5 to fix. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. npm run prod. We want to run the production version of npm. And all right, cool. Git status. I'm just double checking that this should all be static. Yep. Git add, git commit, release 0.31.101. We're just doing a git push. Cool, easy done. And Nitesh Raj. How are you going? I'm building an open source project management system called NearBeach. We're just about to do a release. You've also probably heard me ranting about a few other things, how I want to tackle a couple of problems and stuff like that. I'm not fully sure how I want to tackle them yet. All right, I forgot to do npm audit. We'll do that very, very quickly. Easy done. That's fine. I don't need to update anything. We've just pushed everything. We did end-to-end tests before. They work perfectly fine. I do believe that if we do the sites and the NearBeach and the where are our not locust tests, sorry, our tests results, there we go, shakeout tests, all of these should be fine. Yeah, they're all fine. All right, let's go to GitHub. I keep typing that wrong. All right, so in here, we're just going to jump onto that one. I'm just going to reorder these so they're in smallest to largest. I'm just going to knock that off. We're just going to close all of these and we're just going to do a release. So compare and pull. We've got bug fixes. All right, I'm double checking all of this. So 1, 2, 3 bug fixes, applying release. Yep, all right, cool. Yep, I'm happy with that. Oh, I've just got to copy all of that so I don't need to do it again later. I'm going to create and pull a request. I am going to be naughty and I'm going to just bypass the rules and merge. All right, done. We're going to go to NearBeach. We're going to do our release for this. So this is 0.31.101. 0.31.101. Cool. Pre-release, all of that fun stuff, and then done. All right, in half an hour, this will be fully deployed. So yeah. All right, so I'm pretty happy with the testing, the shakeout testing. I'm gonna say I'm pretty done with the shakeout testing. Will definitely be, well, I'm done for it for this particular week. What do I need to do? All right, so the final countdown had our definition of done. So I've just got to do the unit tests for the back end. There'll be some unit tests for the front end done. I've also probably decided that as we are redesigning quite a bit of it, I've just got to make sure I don't do unit tests and then destroy that component. Like, it can drive me nuts if I do that. So completion of unit tests for all API endpoints, there's just 3 left, so that's almost done. Essentially, this is completed. We've pretty much completed the shakeout of the site itself. There shouldn't be any critical issues. Yeah, they're all normal or minor. That's pretty good. Any critical issues or major issues we want to fix straight away. So yeah, I've literally just got to do the unit tests, and that will hit the 75 code coverage for the back end, not the front end, and then I will be happy to jump onto 0.32 for designing and stuff like that. So yeah, this is getting pretty excited. Of course, the design process is me just figuring out what I want to do, and then yeah, I think there is one more feature I did want to also implement to. We'll go back into here. So we need to implement the meta fields. I just need to do that. That's going to be part of the API sort of stuff. So that definitely will happen this month. Yeah, that will definitely happen. And then I just need to, yeah, I just need to do that. So yeah, All right, I'm gonna call it here just because I'm getting tired. Now, I won't be streaming on Friday. I'm just having a day off from streaming. Yeah, let's find out who's on. Let's rate Togglebit. Oh no, he's playing a game. All right, no. Sorry. I want to keep it within the software. All right, it's Oik. So yeah, let's rate it's Oik. See what they're doing. Oh, they're doing some. They're learning C++ for game dev. All right, cool. Anyway, thank you very much everyone for being here tonight. It has been wonderful. We got a bit done. Yeah. So yeah, once again, I'm not here Friday. I will be back on Monday. Hopefully, I have moved a couple of the tasks along on the weekend, and then we'll be jumping into sort of designing sort of stuff and sort of seeing what endpoints we need and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, anyway, thank you very much and enjoy It's Oik. And those on YouTube, terribly sorry you can't join us, but don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you very much for being here.